Let's look at why we get some of the answers we get when we add positive and negative integers. We remember Tim and Moby's trip up the hill mountain in Brain Pop, and they went up 1,000 meters, and Tim dropped his hat, and they had to come down 200 meters, and we found that 1,000 plus negative 200 equaled 800. And different signs subtract, we know that, so 1,000 minus 200 equals 800, and we have to keep the sign of the higher number, so the number with a higher absolute value is 1,000 and it's positive, so the answer is positive 800. So they wound up here at 800 meters. They went up 1,000, back down 200, they wound up here at 800. And while we know that's true, it's still sometimes hard to think of it. It doesn't seem to make sense. How can we take a big number like 1,000, add something to it, and come up with a smaller number? Well, let's go through some of the smaller numbers on the number line that we're familiar with, and then we'll kind of change it up a little bit and get a little harder and see if we can make some sense of it. Now, we've been looking at problems like this since most of us about first grade. 3 plus 6 equals 9. We can do that on our fingers. We have 3 fingers and we add another 6 fingers. We have 9 fingers sticking up. So let's look at it on the number line. Now, a couple things about the number line. One is that all the positive numbers are to the right of 0 on the number line, moving away. All of the negative numbers are to the left of 0 on the number line, moving away from 0. Negative numbers to the left, positive numbers move to the right. So let's move 3 spaces in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to move another 6 spaces again in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you notice that if we add 3 spaces and 6 spaces, we get 9 spaces, right where we ended up on the number line. Again, we've seen this for very many years, and we should be familiar with it by now. But let's take a look at what happens when we have negative numbers instead of positive numbers. And again, we're going to start at 0, but this time we're going to move in the negative direction, 3 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, and we're going to move on again in the negative direction, 6 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we wind up right here at negative 9. And remember our song, same signs, add and keep. Okay, same signs, 3 plus 6. I'm going to add them. 3 plus 6 equals 9. And keep the sign. Okay, the signs are negative, so my answer must be negative 9. Oh, right there on the number line where I'm at, negative 9. So let's take a look at what happens when we do it a little differently. If we start at negative 3 and we add positive 6, what happens? Well, going in the negative direction, 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've moved 3 in the negative direction, back 6 in the positive direction. We wind up right here at positive 3. And our song says different signs subtract and keep the sign of the higher number. So 6 minus 3, 6 minus 3 equals 3. And it says keep the sign of the higher number. The sign with the higher absolute value is 6, and it's positive, so our answer has to be positive 3. And it makes sense. We are at the positive side of the number line. What happens if you start with negative 6 and you add positive 3? What happens then? So we move in the negative direction, 6 spaces. We move back 3 spaces in the positive direction. So negative 6 plus a positive 3, and we wind up this time at negative 3. So let's see, different signs subtract. 6 minus 3. 6 minus 3 equals 3. And the sign with a higher absolute value, negative 6, is further away from 0 than positive 3. So the sign is negative, so our